Let's welcome retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel James Carafano. Colonel Carafano served our nation for 25 years, including service in Europe and Korea. Colonel, it's great to have you on. Okay, this story's coming in. What do you make of what Speaker Mike Johnson is asking? Why did the Biden administration wait a week and telegraph to the world, including to Iran, how it was going to hit back at Iran proxies after 3 U.S. soldiers were killed in that drone bombing in Jordan by Iranian-backed militants? What do you think?
Yeah, I can only tell you why they did it. I can tell you why it's a problem. And it's something we've talked about on your show before. You have to remember that these are all exactly the same people that did foreign policy in the Obama administration, including the vice president. So they have a playbook which they continue to use, and which, if you're an adversary, you know exactly what these guys are going to do. And the number one thing in the Obama playbook is they're worried about escalation. They don't want to do foreign policy. They don't want to get engaged. They want it to go away. And they think the answer to that is to do as little as possible. And then, show your adversary, look, I'm not really a mean guy. If you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. And this is a perfect example of that, by saying to the Iranians, well, we're going to strike back, because we have to, because if we don't, Americans are going to be mad at us because Americans were killed, and it'll be bad for my poll numbers. And I have to really look like I'm an activist president going up to an election. But be assured, I don't want to take the war to Iran, and I'm telling you ahead of time so you know. So we think that that's lowering the temperature, not escalating. But if you look at it from the Iranian perspective as they're afraid of us, they're worried about the election, they're worried about poll numbers. So I'm the one running the game here. I'm in charge of this, not the Americans.
Got it. Because, we want to get your reaction to NSA Jake Sullivan. Colonel, he's indicating the White House is not ruling out possible airstrikes inside Iran or against Iranian assets. I mean, U.S. airstrikes, I think they already struck more than 85 targets in Iraq and Syria. And the U.S. and the U.K., they did carry out strikes on Iran proxy militants in Yemen. Let's listen. Let's get your reaction to NSA Sullivan here, and then watch former President Trump. Watch this.
Have you ruled out strikes inside Iran?
Well, sitting here today on a national news program, I'm not going to get into what we've ruled in and ruled out from the point of view of military action.
But is it off the table? Are strikes inside Iran off the table?
Again, Kristen, sitting here on television, it would not be wise for me to talk about what we're ruling in and ruling out.
Inside Iran, would you rule that out at this point?
Look, sitting on a national TV program, I'm not going to rule in and rule out any activity anywhere.
They're not afraid of us. They were afraid of Trump. They're not afraid of us. Look what happened in Afghanistan in 21. Look what happened in Europe in 2022. 2023, Hamas attacks Israel. It is not working.
I said, anybody that does business buys oil, because that's the big deal, essentially business but oil. In particular, anybody that buys from Iran will do no business with the United States. Everybody stopped. They were selling almost nothing. They were almost out of business. They would have had a deal with me within 2 weeks after the election. Now, the deal is a very simple deal, no nuclear weapon. They're going to have a nuclear weapon in the next 60 days. And once they have a nuclear weapon, it's a whole different story. It's a whole different negotiation.
So, Colonel, you hear the former President Trump's policy, right? Then you contrast that with NSA Sullivan. He's not saying whether or not they're going to strike Iran inside its borders. What do you make of all this?
Well, what's important about what the president said is you go after the things that the regime really fears. And the two things that they fear most are the stability of the regime and the immense cash flow. If you cut the cash flow off and you threaten the regime, that will get them to constraint. The problem with what Sullivan said is, well, we might do something, but there's no hint of a strategy there.
Right, that's it. But they did, in your assessment, we've seen reports $100 billion is what the Iran regime has achieved and gotten under this Biden White House. Does that sound right? Do you think that's true?
Well, let's just look at the bill here. We paid for the Houthi rebels, arming them up full hat, the Hamas getting them up to speed for their invasion, Hezbollah, plus all the surrogates in Iraq. So all that money has gone in and out the door, and we know exactly what it was spent on.
Colonel James Carafano, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to see you.